One of the things that I go through from time to time, and this is something I'm familiar with and I've been experiencing, but it still takes me sometimes a while to pick it up, because I always think that my team is saying, pick up what we're putting down. And what it is like, for example, the first time I went into a large crowd, it was overwhelming for me. I could feel, sense, and hear everything, everybody. And I know when I went through that experience, I went back to it. Because what I understood was if I ran from that experience, I wasn't going to learn what I needed to learn. I couldn't overcome what I needed to overcome. And this is not for everybody. Everybody's different, and you learn different ways. But what I have learned is sometimes Spirit, my team, put me in circumstances going, girl, this is something you need to conquer. This is something you need to learn. How the energy works and what I am meant to do with it. Because also that said, sometimes with energy, you just relax and let it do what it does. You're conducting. You're being the conduit. And also, sometimes we're meant to mentally, physically do things to change the energy with it, to have certain intentions, to do certain actions, to do certain things within us to learn about the outside energy. So, like I gave you just the example to run over real quick. Sometimes you don't do anything and relax and allow. And sometimes there's stuff for you to do, literally, is what I've learned by working with my energy, understanding who I am. And so I give you that example for large crowds, but now, and I go through these little stepping stones or learning steps as I've grown. And lately, my energy has been amplified. My abilities have been amplified. And sometimes it's overwhelming for me. And because this has been the part of June. I don't know when you're watching this, but this has been June of 25. And everything has been amplified. And it's been a little overwhelming for me, little anxiety. I'm really breathing through it. And so I had to go back to my basics. So as I go through my basic steps, I started journaling about it, writing this down, what I'm feeling and sensing, what is going on, and really reflecting at the end of the day how my day went, what I sensed, what I felt, what I observed. And this is just learning the energetic side of my abilities, of why and what is happening to me. And I got the answer that I was looking for, but it wasn't the one I wanted. And a lot of times this happens. And I just want to say, if I was able to pick the ability that I had, it sure as the heck wouldn't have been the one that's going on with me now. Because this life isn't about what we want. It's about what is good for us. What do we need? What do we need for growth, understanding, accepting of oneself? So sometimes there are challenges. Sometimes there's things where you need to overcome something. And so to get back to what I learned was I was running into all this negative energy from people. I can read them. I can understand what they're here to learn and go through. And I also learned that some people weren't ready for me to say it to them. But I also couldn't run from it. I had to learn how to be in it and hold my own space. And I'm learning little technical things that I need to do in certain spaces and things like that. But this is the second time I went through it. And the first time I ran. The first time I avoided. And I wasn't ready for it yet. I wasn't strong enough within myself. And now that it's happening again, I'm realizing, oh, yeah, that one time I was going through this before. What did I do then? And I journaled about it. Because this time, I'm not going to do that same stuff I did before, because it didn't get me anywhere, because I'm going through it again. So I need to learn and understand. And I would say this isn't conquering karma. This isn't conquering lessons. Kind of lessons, but this is conquering myself, my abilities, my gifts. And we all have different ones. Like, and even like running into other people, there are some people that we all have similar gifts or similar abilities because we're all the same. But what abilities are you here at this time to vamp, to have, to use? What abilities? Because I've noticed I ran into some teachers that say, practice the ones that are weaker. Every time I've done that, my team comes in and be like, no, it's not your time to do that. My ability that is the strongest, my ability that keeps on coming through, I need to hone it, understand it, and use it. So I go through different shifts, different periods, different changes in my life where the energy changes how I see it, perceive it, and I can change it. And I learn different steps with that. And like I said, and hopefully it's not too windy, like I said, I wouldn't have picked this ability. I didn't know anything about spirituality or abilities, gifts. When I first started looking into it, I thought, oh, psychic, I'll be a psychic. That's cool, right? Or I'll talk to the dead. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't get that one. All of ours is unique. And once you start facing some of those fears, facing some of that energy that you're meant to conquer, understand within yourself, you're going to grow the most. You're going to understand. But find that courage within you every time you shift and change. And that's okay if you don't do it the first time, because it'll come back around again. Trust me. All the energy I've had to learn to understand, they keep on trying. They keep on introducing it until I get comfortable with it. So before it gets too windy here, one of the things that I'm going through energetically